All right, they fit in there. Now I've just got to figure a little rack for my sanding things so that I can get them off the table and put them up there in that little storage rack area. So that's working good. Yeah, working good. All right, I sorted all my grits out from the finest to the coarsest. I've got 320, 220, 180, 120, 100. And this is 80, 60, and 40. And that's gonna, and I've got a 20-inch deal. I'm gonna have three compartments, or three compartments for this, and it'll go into about 20 inches. So basically, there'll be a little bit room in there, and there'll just be a square pocket for these to sit in. And then they'll go the length of the cabinet, which is 20 inches. So then I'm having that done. I'll have 4 trays. That gives me 2 more to drop these down. I've got it. The trays are 1.5 inches thick, so they're about 1.25 inches of stuff. So I'll be able to take a couple of these thicker ones and make them a little bit wider. But anyway, that's all my sanding discs. They have been always falling on the floor. They've always been, funny to locate. So anyway, I've always wondered if I had some. So I'm going to cut some of them up and get them in there. What I'm going to do is design a cabinet that fits inside here. And then inside that's going to have 2 slots. And it'll have a shelf in the middle. And then I've got 2 drawers that will go in here that are set up to where they can have 3 across there. So there will be a total of 12 slots, and they'll be 1.25 inches. So let's go inside and have a look at what we've designed that up with. All right, this is the Sanders box 14 by 16, and that started off with this one right here, and then I came up with a need for some sanding disc storage that will fit up here in these top 2 brackets here. And let's zoom in a little bit on these 2 here and make that active. And basically that box that will fit in there is a 20-inch box. The height of it is basically 4 inches and some odd, 4.5 inches or so. And so let's just see what it is. And it is 4.8 inches. Excuse me. And it's that's 20 inches long. And then this box here is a little under 7 inches wide. And it's got a couple slots in here. And then it's got a shelf that's 6.7 inches wide. So that box will fit in there, and it will have these 2 compartments right here. And then these are the inside box. They're 5.75 by 1.5 inches tall, and they will fit inside that. And so these are going to be the drawer slides. So let's jump back over here to this side. And there is the drawer bottom, and I'll basically make 4 of these. And this one, of course, is 19.5 inches by 5.7 inches wide. My sanding discs are 5 inches, so I have a little bit of room in there. And then there's going to be 3 compartments. There's your 3 compartments there, and then this is your end pieces, and then these are your pieces that fit in here in the middle, which will be the dividers. And I didn't go into a lot of detail there. Anyway, and then there's no box joints on the top edge. It's just a shelf, or that. And these are 1.4, so they'll be a little bit inside the 1.5 inch opening. And the inside measurements, it's still plenty wide. And so anyway, that's good. And then these little guys right here are set scale items individually. They're about the width of a piece of this right here. So in that situation there, and them are a little bit smaller than that, so they'll fit in there and should be good to go. So anyway, I'm going to get out and mill these. I did save these tool paths. Let's look at the tool paths, and when that gets in there, we'll preview it. and preview alt toolpath. Whoops, preview alt toolpath. And so there we are. And this is also tiled. I've got these being cut in sections the same as the rest of them. They're 7.5 inches. So I basically have got this to where, whoops, let me get that over here out of the way, go to the view, and you can see that I'm not breaking these across the toolpath, the two different pieces of material. So I'll be using sheets that are 7.5 inches wide by 20 inches, and I got a whole bunch of scrap that's laid out there, so I'll be able to use those. And anyway, that's what I'm working on today, and I've got those saved to my disk, and they're ready to go. So I'll basically cut these first, and then I'll cut these, and yeah, so this will be one box, and then this will be 4 cuts. So for the scrap. So basically, I can get one drawer out of about a 14-inch piece of material. So there we go. And like I said, I have a bunch of scraps from all the boxes I've been making. Thanks for watching.
All right, put that down cut 1/8 inch end mill on there. The other one was upset and pulling that plywood up with the pin nails. I haven't used it for a long time, so I about forgot about it. But I did learn the other day that downset is worth its weight in gold when you're drilling deep holes. So for the biggest part, I just use the gut cuts, but push them down towards the table. So in my method, that's pretty good. So when it's cramped both ways, it's met up with the pin nails, pretty much takes it to the table. And there you go. So it's coming together.
All right. Well, that was gluing up. It glued up pretty good. I have not touched it with a sandpaper or anything like that, but it's good to go. I could round it off a little bit, but really not going to see anything except for the ends of it. And so this is fits in here. It's pretty tight. That'll go under flush across there if I want it to. If I want the edges right there to go flush, I can just put a little keeper in there and it'll stay flush like that. Or I can have it stay down to where that end's down there is about 1/4 inch down, so that it'll stay towards the inside. And then these are my drawers that are going to be making next. But anyway, so that's that. While I was cutting these other pieces out, I get down to the last sheet of this, and I haven't sanded them yet. And I was over here, and all of a sudden the router quit. Thought, what in the world? So I came over to the router, and I thought, this is probably right at a year, maybe a year and a half old tops. And I come over to the machine, and I thought, what is going on? So let me go ahead and put this thing up here. And I thought, what in the world's going on? So I took this is the new one, but the other one's just exactly like it, same model, same make. And I noticed that the switch didn't quite feel just right. It didn't feel right. And I thought, I wonder what the story is with that. It was, anyway, it wouldn't work. So I unbolted this, took my light fixtures all off, and got the hex heads and nuts out and unbolted this, and I slid this up out of there to where I had this, like that. So I just took it out and I blew it out, blew all the dust out of it, and thought, okay, let me plug it in. So I plugged it in, it worked. I thought, well, great. So I tried it 2 or 3 times, it worked each time, and everything worked fine. I blew the switch out from right here as good as I could. And you'll notice this switch right here is a little bit different than the other one. And I have blown that one considerably. And then there's this switch here. It's got a little bit different kind of a make. It's got like a little dust boot around it. So they've done something to that switch just a little bit different. Everything else is identical. So anyway, I put it up, put it back together, got it in there, fired it up. First thing I did is I broke my bit because the router never fired up. So I lost a 1/8 inch end mill, 1/8 inch end mill, about like that. This one's an upcut bit, and the other one is a downcut bit. And I'm like, ugh. So fine. So I unbolted it, took it all apart, undid all the straps, undid the lights, pulled the light that down, and bolted it, took it out, blew it out again. Got a little more serious about it. I took this cap off with the star, took this off. This just pops up easy, no big deal. Got that off of there. And there's some little dust in there, not too bad, because I always vacuum this right up here. When I'm, every time I vacuum up, I vacuum this thing. So anyway, yeah, so I cleaned it up, took it off, cleaned it up, plugged it in, worked. I thought, okay. So I tried it 2 or 3 times. I bounced it around, I banged it around a little bit, worked. Put it back in here, tightened the thing up, get it all ready, put the deal on there, but I didn't trust my bit yet. So, I put it up higher, wouldn't work. Are you kidding me? So then I just got kind of aggravated because I've been messing with it for about an hour of, messing with it, broke a bit. And I thought, fine. So I thought, well, I was in the middle of a project, wanted to complete the project. So I went down to Lowe's and picked that up. It was $200, $199. So I got, of course, the extra half-inch collet, extra wrenches. And this one didn't come with the plunge base and all that stuff where my other one does, but what can I say? It's $199. Anyway, since then I went out on the web, found out that that's a typical problem. Dust getting in that switch right there, and it wouldn't work. So I'm going to take this off a little later on today when I get some time, and get in there and pop that switch out. You got to take about 6 wires off and get in there, take that switch out and clean that out, or I may just bypass it. And because I never turn it off and on to speak of. But anyway, I do have a contactor box down here that this is the router cord right here, and it plugs into this contactor, and contactor is switched off by the Shark controller. It feeds that and it turns it on so that every time you hit something, it doesn't blow the fuse in the controller. Now I haven't had to replace a fuse in 3 or 4 years, but otherwise I was every time it would get hung up and the router was just a little bit bogged, it would blow a fuse. And so, it's like a 2 amp fuse. So anyway, so I've done away with that, no longer have that issue, and that works good. And so anyway, and of course the troubleshoot is I just unplug that and plug an electrical cord in it, and the lamp, and I said, okay, my stuff's all working. Anyway, long story short, so that's where I'm at, and getting back to it. Yeah, so there we go. Now we're going to get into sanding mode and sand these up and get them glued up. And then we'll cut some of the drawer parts. All right, quick sanding those parts. We'll set them off to the side. We'll take the dust collecting hose and leave it off here. Plug it back into that guy right there. We'll pop this up. Put this over here on the shelf. There it is there. Pop this clamp off of here, and then we'll go to gluing these parts up. There's that one, and that one. So we'll get them in there. These guys here, we'll store them right over there in that little plug thing right there. Alright, dry fit's perfect. Let's glue her up. Alrighty, we're ready to dab glue. I'm gonna go ahead and get my little washcloth wet, and I keep rinsing it while I'm working it just to keep the glue from setting up. That thing's ready to go. So let me get some glue on there and dab it up and glue it together. Alright, how do you think? Is there enough clamps on that thing? You got to realize that I could put a couple more on here. Every one of them little corners have a tendency with a 1/4 inch plywood to there's enough flex in them that you just about got to get some pressure on them pretty close to get them to stick and stay in. But anyway, that one glued up pretty good shape, and she's gonna be rock solid. So needs a little bit of sanding inside. I'll wait till I do the overall sanding for it. And then there's the sister box over there on that side. So now we're going to get started on the drawers. So I'm going to go in and look at that on the computer, and I'm about ready for it. I just got to drill a hole in the face for a finger to pull the drawer out. Alright, I'm cutting out 20-inch long drawers. They're 1.5 inch wide, and they have 2 dividers in the middle. side. The thing's laying in here. You got a black wire coming in, looks like on that top terminal right there. And then a green terminal coming in, maybe on that side, not sure. That one's got a white and a black and a little colored one. And then on the one that's on the right hand side of the switch, you got the power cord that's coming into the switch side, and the green is coming over here on this side. Okay, we could probably set it right there and get that to go up. Alright, that little bottom of that drawer took 5 minutes and 42 seconds to cut out all them guys, and other sides and pieces was the other tile was right at 10 minutes and 20 seconds. So there you go, about 40 minutes you got drawers cut out. There we go. Alright, there's my 2 spacers. You should go right in there in the center of that, and they do. And there's the little notches. Just throw some glue on there and wipe her down. And run over sanding with on the sanding jig, the new sanding table, downdraft table. That thing's sweet. I sanded over here for 15 minutes, and there's no dust around here. Didn't get any in my face, eyes, nothing. So that's a win-win over there. All right, there's two more drawers that are glued up. Those are box jointed, and those are 1/4-inch box joints. These are 1-inch box joints. And it's, 11, 12 degrees outside, so it's a little cold. And they'll need to fix that up before it glues up solid like that.